Okay, we're back with another episode of OnlyStans. I believe this is going to be the first episode of 2023, so Happy New Year to all. And we figured we'd kick it off with a legend in the game, an OG in the game before OnlyFans took over the world, the one and only a close pal of mine. I would say one of my closer pals in the industry, Eva Lovia. Happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me, Glenny.
I'm very happy to have you here. We when I first started doing this whole idea of interviewing you wonderful ladies, we did a video interview, and I was like, the video's not really good. Let's wait till we're in person. We're in person here now. Also, by the way, brand new studio at the Barstool Sports headquarters. I think this is a way better studio for not only all of our podcasts, but this one specifically. I think it's a better setup.
I think so too. Full length.
Desks.
Yeah.
We can move our arms. We can go crazy, which is nice. So, I think I'll just start out with, usually I ask people like where they're from, but I kind of know where you're from, but I still kind of want your background. Where are you from originally? Give me your life story.
Well, that will be really long and probably boring. Maybe not. But
you filled me in on this at a strip club in Bridgeport, Connecticut one time.
Right, but there was a lot of alcohol involved, so I don't know how much is remembered or not.
I would just like to hear about it.
Anyways, born in Southern California, spent some time in upstate New York after my parents split, and then I moved down to the Carolinas for university, and I've just kind of stayed there.
Said for university, like you're a Canadian.
I like university. I say that instead of college. College sounds like, I don't know.
So like English people in the Canadian stuff.
Yeah.
And where in upstate New York were you again? Because I remember being like, oh my God, I went to Albany.
Binghamton and Coxsackie, so like a little bit outside.
Coxsackie. I always say Coxsackie is the reason that I'm a large gentleman, because I got Coxsackie when I was like 5 years old. And you can't swallow hard foods for a couple of weeks. But and then if I remember correctly, you were down by like Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, I went to Coastal Carolina.
And you were like a bartender at Coastal Carolina.
I was.
How was that?
Slinging drinks.
Was it? Did you go to Sup Dogs? Or that was East Carolina. Sorry, that's East Carolina
that's not there.
So where did you bartend in Myrtle Beach?
Might as well. It was kind of like the college bar, and we were constantly like at war with the university because the university wanted to be a dry campus, and that wasn't. It's Myrtle Beach. Everyone wants to go there for the beach and drinks, and it's like a huge party school. But at the time, they were really fighting it. So
what a weird name. Good name for a bar, I guess. Might as well.
As well.
And then if you don't mind me asking, how did you go from college bartender to getting into the game?
So I was working at Hooters. I had like 3 jobs while I was going to school because I'm a workaholic. So 3 jobs. I was working at Hooters as one of them. Someone came up to me and was like, you should do bikini modeling. And that's like usually code for eventually you're going to take your clothes off. And that's exactly what happened. So I started modeling for this website, like all implied stuff. And I got super bored and I was like, I want to make the movies. I want to go on like those. I thought they were all real. So it's like, I want to be on the same in the same houses as all these beautiful girls and drive fancy cars.
Wait, so how did what was like the first modeling job like? What did you do for the first modeling job? It was
like a bike magazine, I think. So like Hot Rods or something like that. It was me and like motorcycles. Classy. Yeah.
And then how did the progression begin? So you did that and then
someone introduced webcam modeling to me, which I hated. So it's essentially you and then a bunch of dudes on the other end that you don't see, but that are like giving you $1 and then asking you to do like backflips naked. And I'm like, I'm not doing this either. And I was like, I wanted to make movies anyway. So I wanted to do like the big, like cheesy, like Kill Bills and like, like
Lawrence of Arabia.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Harry Twatter, those kinds of things. That was what was calling me.
So then I want to hear the actual progression. So then did you like move to LA? Did you start in LA?
No. So so the company that I wanted to shoot with was We Live Together. I like just always loved that website because I really thought it was a bunch of chicks in like this mansion, kind of like Playboy.
Okay.
Right, but it's not. So there's like a little contact me link on the bottom, and I clicked it, and I was like, do I have to audition? Like, how do you do this? And they're like, no. If anyone tells you to audition, run away. It is a scam. Don't do that. Just send us like your ID, which is still really sketch now that I look back at it, but send us a picture of your ID so we know you're 18, and then a couple selfies in the mirror. And I did, and they're like, yeah, we'll fly you down next week. And then they brought me down. I was freaking terrified because I had never shot anything before, and I was like, what if I get kidnapped? What if this is like taken? I have no idea, but I just like really wanted it bad enough, I guess, to ignore that.
And where was this? Can we recount that
Miami.
day? So they fly you down to Miami.
Yeah.
What actually happened? Is it like a casting couch in there?
No, God, no. God, no. I probably wouldn't be here if that was the case. No.
That kind of sounded like what you were.
No, it was all girls. So I started like
nice.
very, very classy, very tame. I wasn't ready to like go all the way yet. So huge warehouse studio, massive wardrobe, hair, makeup. Like you feel very professional when you go in. And then I'm sitting next to like this superstar who I had just watched forever. And I was like, oh my gosh, I get to shoot with like the girl for this website. And I was like, well, do you have any tips? Like, I've never done film before. I've never been with a girl before. Like, what is going to do well? And she just like wouldn't even talk to me.
Oh, she was in the
She
zone?
was cold. Just stone cold killer.
It's like Tom Brady not giving tips to a young receiver. Holy
right?
shit.
I'm like, rising tide. You know what I mean? Help a girl out.
She saw a young Lovia and backed away.
She did. So
What's she doing now?
I don't know. Probably admin.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. All right. So continue as all girls.
Yeah, all girls. We tried on some outfits. I got glammed up. I felt like super special because I had never done professional hair and makeup before, styling as much as you can like style for a set. It was Halloween themed. So we were like throwing a Halloween party and things got carried away naturally. Someone probably got stuck in a candy bowl and one thing led to another and it ended up being like a super highly rated scene. I think it was because I looked like a deer in headlights and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And that just translated well.
So was this like lesbian porn?
Yeah.
Oh, so you had to go
I just did it. Yeah. I was like, well, I've been on the receiving end of this, so I at least know that much. And I've watched enough film as like research.
Were there any moments that like popped in your head were like, oh, we're doing this? Like,
no, I kind of like just tunnel vision, you know, when you get in like a flow state, like I got in a flow state, but for porn.
And were you like drinking for any of this? I feel like if I'm on my first porn set, do my first porn, I would be quite drunk during it.
No,
You were
sober.
Stone cold sober. So that's interesting. You were saying it's a Halloween theme.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a porn director, what would your ideal fantasy theme be?
Oh my gosh. So I started directing right before I stopped shooting for like the companies.
Yeah, before
I wanted to do one. The last one I wanted to do. What was that cartel series that did really well on Netflix?
Narcos?
Yes. I wanted to do like a Narcos scene. So it would have been like this like drug lord femme fatale kind of character. And she comes out and like there's all the men in suits near the pool. And there's like trays with like coke and guns and whatever. And it would have been like this really big orgy scene or like I guess more of a gangbang because it'd be like one girl and a lot of dudes.
Yours is Narcos theme.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't really know. You know what mine would kind of be?
What?
That people make anyway that I love. I don't know why I love it. I love bachelorette party porn.
Really?
Great. You ever see like Dancing Bear?
It's fun. Yeah.
Dancing Bear is hilarious. It's the funniest thing. That was viral in high school, and I just loved Dancing Bear. There's something about the idea of just picturing a bunch of like horny married ladies just like jerking off a dude at a bachelorette party.
I get that from
There's
a dude's perspective.
There's something interesting about it. Have you ever experienced anything like that on a bachelorette party?
No, I don't know if I've even been to a bachelorette party.
Been to a bachelorette party?
No, I've done bachelor parties back in the day, where because like they want to have like porn stars come. So I've been booked for like bachelor parties.
Oh, you've done a bachelor party?
Yeah.
How can you fill me in on how that goes?
So they fly you in. Usually it's Vegas. So they fly you into Vegas. They get you your own suite. Usually you're there and you get to like bring like one or two girlfriends with you.
Okay.
You get paid like your booking rate and you just like go out to the strip clubs with them and party and you're just like paid arm candy.
Did you do any like lap dances per se?
I did at the strip club, but I don't know if that really counts because like you're dressed. Does that count? I don't know.
Damn, God forbid you strip
It's like
for the fellas.
it's not much more than you would do at like a
strip
club.
For the fellas, for Christ's sakes.
Well, there was ladies there working. You know what I mean? It was about them too.
Oh, they would have their shine would have been taken away.
I feel like you could probably get kicked out too. Yeah.
I don't know. That's
like
also
you're not
like
working.
a dream. We often say that on this show too.
Get kicked out of a strip club.
We're not getting kicked out of a strip club, but whenever you go to a strip club with a normal girl, not a stripper, and she'll like maybe give you a lap dance where they're like, oh. No,
I think they always do because it's like competition. You see all these girls up there and they're like gorgeous and moving and dancing, and you're like, I want to do that too.
But yeah, so you got the Narcos porn. I got the fucking bachelorette party porn, the Dancing Bear. It's legendary stuff. I love the Dancing Bear. I mean, my friends used to love. If you remember Fake Taxi.
Yes. I wanted to do that too.
You should come out of retirement and do fake taxi.
Oh my God.
I always love when the taxi guy be like, how about I jump back there and have a play with you, love? That was always one of my favorites. That was a legendary line. I used to think it was real. Fake taxi is not real.
No, and before I got into porn, I was actually like, maybe we should redo this. And we were like looking up cabs and like the legal loops that we'd have to jump through. And I was like, this is too much.
When you were in the game, what was your like dream franchise you wanted to be a part of, per se? Like, fake taxi is like a franchise, I guess.
I really loved Reality Kings. Like I loved because it's all of that, right? It's like the fake taxi or you know what I mean? Like
what isn't Reality Kings? They just like pick you up in a van or something?
That's Bang Bros.
Okay,
Bang Bus.
And what is Reality Kings?
Reality Kings, they have similar scenarios. Like it's all a lot of college stuff, I think, too. So that seems really fun. Like I think they did Dare Dorms or something. Maybe that was them. So it's like just like young, fun college antics. Like when they did in the VIP, which I did a couple times, which is a blast. They rent. So they used to do this for real, and then they got in trouble. So in Miami, they would rent out like VIP booths, and then they would have cameras, and then just start going at it. And then they're like, well, you can't do this because there's actual paying patrons, and you're gonna get arrested. So then they started booking out the entire club. A legit DJ would come in, they'd fill the club up with extras, and then a porn scene would happen.
Which they would try to do porn during a normal nightclub?
So this is actually how Reality Kings started. It was a bunch of college bros, and they had a handy cam, and they would find empty dorms, empty classrooms, and film, and then ditch and post it. So it was like legit, like
so
guerrilla
Reality
style.
Kings was reality.
It was at one point. So they kind of try to like keep that as their like the heart of the company.
That is definitely. If I were, I'm not a produced porn guy, but if it was going to be produced porn, it would be like that stuff.
That's why I liked it. Yeah,
it's better than well, actually, you know what? That's an interesting question. What would you say is the best role you've played in a porn of all time?
Ooh, that's a good question. Honestly, that's tough. It's either going to be Lucy Liu with our Kill Bill, or it's a good one. Or I played Ron Burgundy.
That's also a good one. Give me the background of playing Ron Burgundy. How'd you get into playing Ron Burgundy?
How did I do that?
Yeah, how'd you get into Burgundy?
So I was a contract girl, so I just kind of was like fed a lot of these bigger roles for the company at the time. And usually it'd be like, well, which character do you want to be? And obviously, who doesn't want to be Ron Burgundy? So we were doing like a parody of Anchorman, and I just thought that was amazing because you had all of like the really awful clothes and makeup and cheesy lines, and I just had a blast doing it. You have
to send me that link. I'd like to check it out later.
Yeah, for research purposes.
Yeah, just for science.
Yeah.
So what would you say? What would you say is the best opportunity porn gave to you?
Oh
like
my gosh.
One of the craziest experiences you've had due to it.
Probably doing the gumball race. That was awesome.
What's that?
Do you know what gumball is?
No.
So you start off in London, and all these people bring like these really souped up cars, like race cars, and you go from London to Tokyo. So like eventually you take they freight your cars over to Tokyo and you fly, obviously, but it's just like this really long kind of race, and you just party at every city in between. Okay. It's so fun.
Damn, I would have loved to see Eva Lovia in her party days.
Oh my! I don't know if you could handle it. We did it, and you ended up getting whipped.
I did. You did whip. That's a fun fact. I forgot that you whipped me on stage at a Connecticut strip club.
We're bonded for life.
That's true. So do you whip people on stage at all of your strip shows, or did?
No, you were
I was
special.
the only whipped person.
I've done it before, but it's reserved for
I'm trying
people.
to think. That was an interesting experience. That was my first time being whipped on stage.
You were a great.
I was a baby too. I just turned 21, I think. Yeah, I'm not a whip guy. You were wearing was that your normal outfit? It was like a leather whip. It was like kind of.
It was one of my characters.
It was kind of like the leather people that they change clothes with in Dodgeball. That was kind of the thing you had going on. If I recall correctly.
Kind of. I mean, I was going more for like a Jessica Alba and like Sin City, but it could also be that.
Yeah, also that. It was very dominatrix-y, I guess. Good times, though. Good times in the strip club. I got some more strip questions later we'll get into, because people do forget you did whip me one time on stage at a strip club. Fun fact. What would you say was your favorite type of porn to shoot when you would wake up, be like, oh, I'm excited to do this scene today?
I really loved the parodies, and I know some people think that that's like super cheesy, or it is a lot because you're on set for so long, but I just loved like the costumes and the makeup and like having a full finished product at the end. Do you know what I mean?
It does seem fun. That's like my only gripe though with the parodies. They're so highly produced, and I'm a home porn guy. Like I'd way rather watch like an iPhone. You know?
Right, different
like, I think
tastes.
a lot of guys are more rather the iPhone than that.
Especially younger guys. Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say is your favorite memory from being in the game?
Ooh, favorite memory.
Favorite memory on set. Favorite on set memory.
Okay, so that was for Kill Bill. We had the stunt coordinators for the original Power Rangers that did our stunts for that. Really? So we had a crane come in and like the whole like leaping up into the sky and doing flips. Like we got to do that, which was insane. I never thought that would be like something
the cheesy like
yeah. So that was probably my favorite. I was texting everybody I knew. They were helping us do like sword fight coordination. I'm like, this is awesome.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, like the few reality shows we've done at work, we have like the guys who do the Survivor challenges do our challenges. And I'm like, holy shit.
That's so
the
cool.
Same thing. Exactly. But going back to you, like in your party days and whatnot, what would you say is Evalovia's like just craziest party story in general? Not even on camera, just from back in the day, wherever you may have been, Vegas, LA, Miami.
Oh my gosh, there's a few to choose from. So one would probably be, this is not even, I don't even know if I should be airing this.
I would love to hear it.
We were at one of like the bigger clubs in LA, and it was like when I first started to like get a following.
Yes.
And there was like the Eva monster that would sometimes come out if I had too much tequila. And at some point I ended up naked in the VIP, and I have no idea how.
Okay.
Obviously frowned upon. Wouldn't probably do it. It would take a lot more tequila to get me there now. But that was one. And then another, we were in Vegas and I was like, I'm going to try Molly for the first time. And I've never done anything. So I'm super nervous. Ended up being I don't know what it was. Was it Molly? We go to this club and it's all these porn people because we're there for the AVN convention. So you just like know everybody. So you feel like everyone's staring at you. And then my legs just felt like they turned into concrete. So like I can't move and I'm just kind of bopping and everyone's staring at me. And I'm like, I just like need to go. And this is why you don't do drugs, kids.
Drugs, I know.
Yeah.
Molly was one of my, it was my 2020 New Year's resolution to try Molly or shrooms.
How did it go for you?
I didn't do either one because of COVID, and I haven't done them since.
If you want to do shrooms, you should do them with me.
You're a shrooms lady now?
So we actually are starting a psychedelic retreat center.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and we've got like a shaman and
Invite
the whole
me.
thing.
I'll
I would
come.
love for you to come.
I'll consider it.
Yeah.
I've never done shrooms before.
Yeah.
I'm still looking for Molly and shrooms. I've never done them, so that sounds interesting.
Yeah, I would love to.
I feel like that would be a fun time.
Yeah.
Who's going? What happens at a psychedelic retreat?
It
feels very Aaron Rodgers-y.
It depends. So there's like different, I guess you could say themes for a lack of a better word. So a recent one that we just threw was for like entrepreneurs. So you had to be like a founder of a company. And then we had people there that had like $1 billion exits, like serious people. And then there's other ones that are for couples that we've thrown. So it kind of depends.
And yeah, I don't really know, because I don't picture like shrooms being like a single man's drug per se.
It's not something that you should typically just take for fun. Like usually there's a reason that you're taking it. So like if you, I don't know, like have like an existential question or it's
kinda
like deep.
Kind of like, you an Entourage person?
Mouthwash? Entourage. Yeah. Did you see my podcast with Adrian Grenier?
You did a podcast with Adrian Grenier?
Yeah, we did in person.
I remember you told me that a while
farm.
ago that you like knew Adrian Grenier, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's shocking to me. Like, he'd be someone if I saw in person, I would be like, holy
oh, really? No, he's so sweet.
I'd be like, well, I feel like he's not friends with the other Entourage guys. I don't know if he gets along with those guys, but because I know they have a podcast. I don't think he's done it yet. But so you're a fan of Adrian Grenier?
Yeah. He's a great guy.
Damn. What's it like just knowing Vincent Chase? Like,
he's so much not his character in that. Like, he has a farm that he's trying to turn into like a DAO. And
how do you know him?
So we
do you know him?
No, yeah, we know him. Like, he's in my phone.
Like,
there.
I'm saying, like, know him?
Yeah. Oh no! I'm too innocent for that. No, I didn't. I didn't catch that.
I know you retired.
Yeah, I'm retired.
Whenever I say no,
I do not know him.
Whenever you say something twice, it means that.
Okay. No. We are just friends.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Legend. But so what I was going to say, what I meant was in Entourage there's a whole thing where Vince is going through a little rut and they're trying to decide if he does Benji or not. A shitty movie Benji, and they go do shrooms in the desert, and that's how they figure out if you should do Benji or not. But final porn question: who would you say is from Evalovia? I will say a lot of people. I told people you're coming on. A lot of people got excited. You're a legend in the game, despite what you may think. I feel like you don't think you're as legendary as you are.
I
but you are.
don't know, but I appreciate it when you say it.
So I would like to know, who are your goats? Who would you say is the greatest porn star of all time?
For me, it has to be Tara Patrick because she was like the first mixed Asian. So I just adored her for that because I never saw anyone that kind of looked like me. And then I saw her and I was like, wow, she's just the most perfect creature. And I think she just like owned sexuality. You know what I mean? Like she could tell you to do anything and you would do it.
If I recall correctly, I think Asa's number one is Tara Patrick as well.
Is it?
Yeah,
of course.
I think she's an industry favorite.
She's gorgeous. She's perfect.
All right, well,
Absolutely
let's move on from some porn stuff. Unless you got anything else you want to add.
No, do you?
No.
Let's rock and roll.
Let's move on to OnlyFans.
What about OnlyFans?
So let's move on to some
OnlyFans
let's do
questions.
It. So, dude, what's the biggest difference between the porn life and the OnlyFans life?
Everything. I think you would struggle to find more in common than the differences. So, creators are their own boss. They're in charge of all of their own content. They can dictate every aspect of what they want to shoot, how they want to shoot it, their hours, who they're working with, all of those details. Like you said, everyone likes the iPhone content, so you don't need to have like these reds, like these huge cinematic productions.
Well, it's Team iPhone. It's fully Team iPhone.
You're not on set for 12 hours.
No.
You can like just shoot. You can be in an airport, shoot something in like the lounge, and then that's like your work day. You know what I mean? Like you can work from anywhere. And then you own your own content, which I think is also really important. So at the end of the day, if you really want to take it down, you can do that. Whereas if you shoot for a big company, once it's out there, it's out there.
So, what are you doing on OnlyFans these days? I subscribed this morning just to, once again, for science to take a peek. Seemed like it was a lot of, and I think Lisa Ann seemed to do this as well. It seems like it's like a lot of professional photos.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you still in the video game? Are you still making videos?
So I do, but it's not like mass production. It's more like sexting.
Custom?
Yeah.
Custom
well, not
for a
like,
dude?
yeah, kind of like in the moment. So you'll be like talking with someone and they'll be like, oh, that's so hot. Send me a picture or a video clip of this. And then you do that and you send it. So it's not like a full video. It's more interactive.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So if this is officially from Eva Lovia, you're like you're fully out of like, you're in retirement pretty much.
Kind of. The only place you'll see anything is OnlyFans.
Like you're never going to go to a set again.
No. No. Aliens
Retired.
would land first.
Officially retired.
Yeah.
Damn. Have you ever announced that you're officially retired?
No, because it feels I don't know, it feels premature, even though like I guess it's not because I haven't shot for companies and like.
So can this be the official scoop?
Yeah,
that Eva Lovia is retired
Mm-hmm.
from pornography.
I know.
It's like who's retired recently in sports? That's a big deal. Like you just said, it's premature. Maybe you'll Tom Brady and go back into the game. Who knows?
But then that's not good either, because I've talked to Tara Patrick about this actually too, because I asked her a very similar question, and it's like you have pictures and videos of you out there from when like you're 20. So now you're competing with 20-year-old you. Do you know what I mean? So like you could fully step into that MILF version of yourself if you want.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like a giant kick to the ego. So you don't necessarily want to do that. You want to like leave your best stuff out there.
Leave it out there. You
Yeah.
left it all on the field.
Mhm,
And that's why Evalovia just officially announced her retirement here. So happy to have OnlyStans to be the announcer. It's a big moment. It's truly like watching a legend step away from the field, hanging up the cleats one last time.
And have a little tear fall down.
Seriously.
Mhm.
I mean, let me tell you, Eva, people love you. I mean, me and my friends, I consider us friends, and I could say this respectfully. Me and my friends all say it. I would probably say you're the most uniquely beautiful porn star of all time.
Thank you.
And I know, and I'm being serious. It's interesting. A lot of people here. I remember when you came to us at first, I remember it was like, holy shit, Evalovia's coming. Evalovia's coming. I was like, you're a fucking stud.
Aw, thank you, Glenny.
So it's a big retirement. So hey, congrats on a great career.
Thank you so much.
What are they? Do I got to give you a gold watch? Is that what they do? You get a gold watch when you retire?
Or like a coat?
Is that what you give somebody when they retire after a long career? You get a gold watch. Let's see. So like I said, you retired. You're now into the motherhood phase of life.
I am the little
Am
ones
I allowed
out
to
there.
say that you brought a baby here today? You're definitely the first guest to bring a baby here.
I thought so. I was trying to feed him before we came here, and I was like, hurry up, I don't want to be late. And I was like, I'm going to be the first one to be on the show taking like a breastfeeding break.
Like
on air.
Usually when my guests come in, I'm sitting there waiting. I'm like, oh, what are these girls going to wear today? Let's see what the fit's going to be like. And you just popped out with the baby strapped to your chest. And I was like, holy shit. It's our first baby ever. So you looked like fucking Alan in Hangover, and the baby was Carlos. But so I felt weird asking this question, but I did read that you've already talked about it in articles before. What would you are are you prepared for the motherhood moment when you got to be like, hey, there's some porn out?
So I think obviously you introduced that idea at age appropriate times. Am I ready? Absolutely not. I hope that I'm as ready as I can be when it happens. And it's like very important that I'm the first person that is there when he realizes it to like the full extent. But honestly, and this isn't me like, you know, copping out, a lot of it's going to be like my husband's job to kind of smooth that over.
Just calm it down,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is, I feel like that's the correct route to go.
Yeah.
But then again, my friends fucking, because like I know Asa has, I think she fucking talks about it. If not, I'll cut it. Like Asa has kids too. So me and my friends talked about this before. I feel like when they finally realize it in like 10 years or so,
it's not going to
be that big of a deal.
Mm-mm.
It's not going to be that big of a deal at all.
Because so many girls have OnlyFans.
So many girls have OnlyFans now, and it's the same thing. Even like you were in the full blown porn game, it's the same thing as OnlyFans now. Frankly, I feel like a lot of OnlyFans girls are making porn now anyway.
Oh my, yeah. And I get so annoyed when you see those videos where they pretend that they just like caught someone in an insane car and they're like, what do you do for a living?
Oh, those
and they're
videos
like,
suck.
I just sell pictures of my feet. I'm like, you are such a liar and everyone's going to find out because now they're going to go to your OnlyFans and they're going to see that you're showing it all because no one is getting like a Lamborghini from feet pics.
I feel like there's something about it though. Like if you start your OnlyFans, I obviously don't know. I'm not a wonderful lady that started one. I feel like you start it though, you don't think you're gonna do it, and then you just get like a taste of it, and then you just do it.
I can see the hook for sure.
Especially, I mean, you're gonna make a lot more money. It's whatever. But so yeah, I feel like 10, 15 years down the line, it's gonna be way more open.
And honestly, like, is it that much worse than a parent that's out of the house 60 hours a week working in a cubicle and you don't even know your kid? I think it just
depends on like what type of person raises the kid, I guess. I mean, like me, let's say if you were single and I married you, I don't care. So I'd be like, yeah, your fucking mom is a fucking stud that makes a shit ton of money doing not much, like doing not real work. It's real work. Yeah. But it's not like I'm not building skyscrapers. Yeah. So I mean, like that's what I did a podcast yesterday, and we were talking about it because the girl that posted it, this girl Taylor Ferber, great lady, she was telling me she was going to start an OnlyFans on the show, and I was like, you should. Like I was saying, there's so many comments like the clips I post or like Barstool comments and shit about like, oh, this girl, her dad must hate her, like this fucking stupid bitch. I'm like, dude, this girl's the smartest girl in the world. You're going to don't know what you're doing. You're going to your job that you probably hate. Right. And she's just hanging.
Right. There's a huge misconception that it's the only option that you had, and that's why you took your clothes off. Some of the smartest businesswomen I've ever met are naked on the internet. Yeah. Yeah.
It just...
So you're not like a jealous type at all?
I don't think so.
That's good.
I mean, I always, like, that's the question we've talked about on the show a lot too, is because a lot of my guests have said they've had trouble like finding boyfriends because of OnlyFans and shit. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, from like I've known you and Asa, let's say, for such a long time. Like I remember Asa talking about porn to me, and she was just like, it's like not like real sex. Mm-mm. Like it's not like an emotional thing. You're like, yeah. I mean, I'm sure you could say it too. Yeah. Like if, let's say you and a former romancer on porn, you're like, let's say you guys are doing a scene right there. There's like cameras surrounding you. It's like a real thing.
There's booms and lights and
it's not like a real thing that is that. Something's not emotional. I don't.
Yeah, there's no connection that's able.
Obviously, if you're banging a guy without a camera on, I'd be like,
different.
But I think, frankly, the porn, I think I can handle it.
Oh wow!
And maybe the porn would be harder, obviously. But I think if like I know girls that have hit me up and they'll ask me, I want to start OnlyFans, but my boyfriend said he won't let me. Like if you're talking about just like posting pictures of yourself,
bye.
No, I'm saying do it.
Yeah.
I think that's crazy for a guy to not just. It's just like I don't know if it's weird or not. I would feel like I'd find them kind of intriguing if she was just like posting nudes and just like 1,000 dudes were jerking off to it.
Right, because that's your lady.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, well, she's at the end of the day, she's mine. Not yours. As long as she's not fucking begging the other guys.
Exactly. It's just pictures. There's definitely different tiers of the type of content that you can make. So it's not all with another person. It's not all explicit.
But also back to what we were talking about is if you're one of the people that instantly think on the outside, oh, she's doing porn, then your kid might not be prepared for it. But if you're like, yeah, you know what? it's kind of just a job like anything else. Then they'll be prepared for it. So,
like if you make it a bigger deal than it is.
Yeah, got to be more enlightened. People got to be more enlightened because the comments annoy the shit out of me. Like, dude, these girls are just like these girls have the life. And I don't know. Because I feel bad because I feel like a lot of my guests in the show will read that and be like, and get upset.
Don't read the comments.
Never. And I feel bad.
Don't read the comments.
Like, I'm telling them, don't listen. Don't read the comments.
No, I did this really conservative podcast, huge podcast, like huge podcast, and they do this thing at the end where they read all the super chats, and I'm like, oh God, and I just had to sit there and take it because normally I also like. Do not read the comments. Don't see how many views you get. Like just show up as yourself and that's all you can do. But they're just like live hitting you with the most awful things that you would never say to someone in real life. And you just got to sit there and like respond.
Yeah, I feel like if you have a show live, the live comments are tough too.
They're really tough because they know that you're seeing them in real time.
Exactly. And you got to sit there and ignore it. I'm like, it's kind of weird. But that was some motherhood talk. That was some first motherhood talk we've really had on the show. So that was fun. You got any other mom stuff you want to talk about?
Oh, other mom stuff. I'm still navigating it because my kids are young, honestly. I know that it's just kind of like how you raise your kids, right? Like what are your values? And not that like getting naked is a value, but honestly, like open-mindedness and being kind and like respectful to other people and like everyone's allowed different boundaries.
Well, hey, speaking of other mom stuff, we're recording this on December 21st. So you're the baby you just brought in is very young. I'm assuming he's not excited for Christmas. How old is your other child?
3.
So is he like? Are we doing the whole?
I don't know if he
too young.
Yeah,
do like the whole Santa thing.
Yeah, he's seen Santa twice this year, and he like runs away.
And he doesn't care.
He does not want.
Appreciate it.
He's scared of Santa. He's like, get away from me.
Damn.
He likes candy. He's obsessed with food. So he's like, do I get candy? And I'm like, oh my God.
You know, you got like a few years because we shot a rundown earlier, like a video chat show before, and one of the guys, Clem, great gentleman. I don't know how old his kids are, but they're probably like right in the meat of it. And I was like, he was saying, what are you, not like Christmas? And I was just telling him, I mean, I'm a single guy in my 20s. I feel like this is my Christmas plateau. And then once you have kids again, the Christmas spirit goes back up.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, we gotta get the Christmas spirit back up. But either way, you're gonna be seeing this past Christmas, so whatever. Yeah, we were also just talking before that your social media now is interesting because you don't. If I were to look at your social media, I would think you don't even have an OnlyFans, but you do have an OnlyFans. And I was sitting there, I was like trying to think of stuff I could ask you. I was scared. I was like, is she gonna get mad at me if I ask about porn and whatnot? Because it seems like it's fully behind you. And then I clicked on your like link tree or whatever in your Twitter, and there was a Fleshlight link. So I was like, okay, I feel like we still have a sliver of hope in there. So you have your own Fleshlight. How does one go about making their own Fleshlight?
So they typically approach you for it. And it used to be this thing where their slogan was, we retire girls. And it was essentially a way to provide you predictable income in perpetuity, essentially, for as long as like your name was relevant. So I got a contract and it came along with that. So like winning the contract also meant winning the toy deal, which is amazing because like you go in and they cast your vagina and they cast your butt, and now that is out there for everyone to enjoy. Yeah,
I think I clicked on the link. It was only like $75.
Right, it's a steal.
That's not a bad deal.
It's a steal.
That's not a bad deal at all. $75.
Not at all.
Did you get paid, let's say, monthly or yearly for
monthly?
This? Do you mind me asking how much you get monthly for a Fleshlight?
There are huge swings. So like it can be as low as $5,000 a month, and it can be as high as like 20.
The lowest $5,000 a month.
Yeah, and then like the highest was in the 20s.
Not
for
too,
me,
not
but
too
there's
shabby.
But there's big. It's a massive swing, and then I know girls that make $1,000 a month, but it's just still great for doing
$5,000 is fucking good.
Totally
for the lowest month. Just for me, for one vagina mold. How long does it take to mold a vagina?
I feel like it was. The original one was like over an hour because they do the front and the back. So like they do like kind of like a cast material. So you're like spread eagle in this like gynecological chair, and like there's a whole bunch of people there. So they cast you, and then when that dries, they put like this green flubber looking stuff on you, and then that dries, and then they peel it all off, and then like there is your vagina, and then they repeat it for the back, and then they used to do your mouth.
By the back, do you mean your
butthole?
Butthole, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I did notice there was an option if you wanted to purchase both.
Yeah, so you go into doggy on the chair, and then they just...
Oh, you have to sit in a doggy style?
Yeah, until it dries.
That's an interesting experience, but hey.
Worth it.
For a minimum of $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
That's well worth it. Damn, that's way more than I expected. I thought you were going to say like $1,000 a month.
No. And I mean, like you said, I haven't been filming for a long time, so like the Evalovia brand
How long have you been out of the game for?
I feel like 6 years.
6 years?
Yeah. That I've only been doing OnlyFans and like my website.
Jesus Christ.
I know.
It's
so much better on the other side.
It's like we brought back like De Niro after a long break here. Holy shit. So let's wind down here. We do have a couple. Why did I say fuck? A couple of would you rather questions. Before that, we did mention that I did go to one of your strip shows a while ago when you were back stripping. I would like to just talk about that. How give me some stories on the road from the stripping life, because you would do like travel stripping, I'm assuming, obviously.
Yeah. There were way less ways to monetize your brand back then. So like almost everyone that had a name, you were on the road every weekend at a strip club, and some of them were awesome. Like you would do a Sapphire and they treat you like gold and the clients are amazing. Is it? I haven't really eaten at them. I feel like that's always like
they
rule.
They have like a legit chef, Sapphire.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Okay. Because most of the time I feel like you shouldn't probably eat in that environment, especially because it's so dark. You don't really know what's happening on your plate. But yeah, so you spend like almost every weekend traveling for that, and then some are like complete shitholes, and you're like, I can't wait to get out of here. But like crazy stories, I mean, so I used to do like different acts, if you will. Like, so you saw my dominatrix act.
I whipped at the dominatrix act.
Right, it's fun. It's like it's fun for everybody, especially if there's like a bachelor party in the crowd. Then they always pay to have someone come up and humiliate them. But I did a fire show, so I used to do like a bunch of candles, and people would tip to put the candles out on you, and typically like that's not a problem. People understand it's fire.
So you're putting the candle on them, or they're putting the candle on you?
On me.
And you're into the wax thing?
It just didn't hurt, so I didn't care. And it looks more dramatic than it is, so like it entices people to come up and spend money. But I had one time this one guy, I don't know if he was hammered or if he was trying to like impress his friends, so, like I have a bush, right? Like it's like maintained.
I'm gonna ask you about
but
that.
It's
that
there.
Reminds me.
And he took it and he went to put it right out on my bush, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, that's a clear violation of the rules here. And then I ended up like getting a little burnt from it. Like, not my skin.
There? Is there still a burn?
No.
Is it like a lifelong burn?
No. It just got the hair. And so then that happened. I was like, oh my God, this is ridiculous that this is happening right now. That's probably my craziest story.
And did you ever do like lap dances after the show and whatnot?
I did. They weren't my favorite. I would assume
that would be pretty
You get some guys that just like really push the bounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be freaking me. I mean, lap dances in general are weird. That if you're also a fan, I guess.
Right. Some people get a little too excited and they'll get grabby. So near the end, it was like, I'm going to charge a stupid amount to like filter out that nonsense.
How much does an Eva Lovia lap dance go for?
By the end of it, I think I was doing like $400 for a song. Yeah. Not too shabby.
The Fleshlights and the strip clubs.
Right. You couldn't pay me to do strip club again, though. My last one I did in Philly, and I was there for a week. So 3 shows a night for a week, and the guy didn't pay me.
What?
I know. And it happened to Asa too. It was the same club, and I'm pretty sure she had similar events, and she's like, I'm out. I don't want to speak for her, but I'm pretty sure it was similar.
3 shows a night for a week? For a week. That's bad.
It was a lot of money.
That's bad.
Yeah.
What was your last stripping question? What was your favorite song to strip to? It's the best strip song of all time.
Oh, best strip song. Oh, that's a tough one because that's mood dependent. I would say anything by Rihanna. I love that, or Pony. Pony is one of my favorites.
Pony? How does
by
Pony
Genuine?
Go? I don't know. How does it go?
Oh my God, I'm so bad at singing. Jump on it.
Jump on it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You know, my favorite, for some reason, I've always had this weird fantasy about a lap dance. I've always wanted to get a lap dance to Crazy Bitch by Buck Cherry.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good lap dance song.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Hey, y'all crazy, bitch. Great song.
Yep.
For some reason, that's always been up there. What else? Obviously, the classic, like Cherry Pie.
Yep. Okay.
I picture like a bucket of water being poured on the girl, like the cherry pie, slow motion. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Classic stuff, obviously. Anything else before we get into this Would You Rather segment? Oh, weirdest subscriber requests on OnlyFans.
Weirdest. Oh my gosh. There's
my favorite question. I almost forgot to ask you.
I turn down a lot because some things I'm like, they can repost it and I just don't want to be seen doing certain things. One, and I filmed it and I kind of wish I didn't. So I don't know if it's even out there. It probably is. You probably find it. This guy wanted me to pretend that he was like teeny tiny and that I was a giant. So he wanted to pretend that he was this big.
He was Gulliver.
Yeah, so I had to talk to the camera like he was this big and then pick him up and put him on my dresser and then be like, I'm so big. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't ever want to say that because it's not sexy at all.
Just like a little, you had to pretend that he was a little tiny.
Yeah, and I was going to squish him and sit on him.
Can you give us an example of how the voice note goes about the?
Oh my God. So it would be like, oh, you're so tiny and you have such a tiny cock. So let me just pick you up. And I can't even put my fingertips around it because it's so little. And I'm just going to squish you with my giant ass. And I'm like, oh my God.
You do have a giant ass. People forget the legend of the Evalovia ass. It is legendary. It's the stuff of legend. But yeah, that's a weird one. And then what's one that's too weird for you that you haven't even done?
Some of them get real weird with like the incest stuff. So like it's everywhere. The stepbrother, stepsister, but they request for you to remove the step, and I'm like, I can't do that. Like I know that this is you pretending, but it's too much for me.
Yeah, that's odd.
I draw the line. Yeah. I'm not into it at all.
Okay, let's wind this down with some Would You Rather questions presented by Wood, a Barstool Sports grooming brand. You can find it at your local CVS as this microphone goes away from me. So let's just do some Would You Rather questions with the legend, Eva Lovia. Let's start off with some classic ones. For the rest of your life, would you rather only be on top or bottom during sex?
Bottom.
Bottom? You know, I ask this question all the time. What's the definition of bottom?
Missionary,
then a doggy, it's obviously the position the female assumes a doggy, I'd assume.
So basically, like, you can do any position as long as you're on the bottom, right? Like, that's the question. Top or bottom. It's just a lot of work on the top.
Let's say reverse cowgirl, then you're on top, but then you're doing a lot of work. That's true. So
it's a lot of work.
It seems like a lot of work.
You guys don't get enough credit.
What was the most strenuous position during the porn days?
Oh my gosh. I would either say it's reverse cowgirl because you have to be like on your tiptoes so it looks good. So you're literally just using your toes to go up and down, which is a lot. Or like pile driver is really brutal on your neck. It's not a lot of work.
What's the definition of pile driver?
So it's like essentially like you make an L with your body. So like your hips are up and the guy has them, and then your neck is kind of like kinked.
Okay.
So that's just really bad on your neck. Like you're not doing a lot of work. You're kind of like holding yourself up with your core so that you don't wreck your neck. Okay. But that's hard.
Well, that actually inspires an interesting porn question for me. Are there a lot of cuts that we don't see?
Not in my experience.
Like it's like it's full through.
Yeah.
It's like you were just mentioning reverse cowgirl. Like if you're putting in like 2 minutes of reverse cowgirl, you're not gonna be like, cut. I gotta chill for a second.
No, you gotta keep going.
Power all the way through.
You gotta just channel your inner warrior.
I would have assumed there's a lot more cuts than we assume. Is there like a script? Not a script, but is there you're going from reverse cowgirl to doggy to that? Is that a thing?
Yeah, and I hated that, and it got a lot more strict with that when I was about to leave. So that if you're gonna do missionary for 2 minutes, and then you're gonna do blowjob for 2.5 minutes, and you're like, how the fuck do I know what time is when I'm just having sex? But yeah.
So I know we talked about, actually, before we get to another question, I know we talked about before of like how there's not much like emotional connection when you're doing porn.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a moment of like emotional connection mid porn?
So
is that even like possible?
Would you say like you have feelings, like romantic feelings,
but like, oh, I'm actually enjoying this?
Oh, for sure. Like there's been times where I've enjoyed the scene, or I'd be excited if it was like a certain person on. Like Manuel is my dream boat. I just love him. So anytime I would work with him, I'd be like, this is gonna be a good day.
Have you done Johnny Sins?
No, I haven't worked with him.
You never worked with the legend?
We were supposed to go to space together, so they were like saving it for that.
Astronaut.
And it never happened.
Damn, I would have loved to hear a nice Johnny Sins story.
Yeah, never worked.
Do you
with
remember?
him.
Could I ask you one more porn question?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm doing one more porn questions here. I'm sorry. Do you remember there's one video of you that I'll admit I've watched before. It's like a black lingerie. It's like very clear. It's shot very well. Do you remember what that was?
That was
it for Vixen?
Yeah, there's one for Vixen.
If anybody takes us away, that's a great video of you.
Vixen, Blacks, and Tushy are my best work.
I can't lie. That was your Mona Lisa. That was like your Goodfellas.
And it was all planned strategically. I was like, I'm gonna go out, and I want to go out at like the height.
Oh, those were your last ones? Because that was. There's also something I always say this on the show too. One of our recent guests we had on, Lupu Wellness, Liz, great lady. She was wearing that like same outfit the other day, and I was like, "What is this called? Is that called like garter belts and like stockings?" Yeah, I'm a sucker for those.
Oh, I love them. They lift your butt, like bring in your waist.
If I remember correctly, yeah. So if anyone wants to see Eva Lovia's best work, tune into that stuff. Would you rather date a guy who's ugly and rich or hot and poor?
Ugly and rich. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. Yeah.
Good call. Would you rather have a guy last too long or too short?
Ooh, can you tell me a range?
What would you say is the average sex?
5 minutes.
2 minutes to 20.
And then that's it. Like, we can't do anything after. Am I allowed to finish myself?
Yeah.
Too short then.
I mean, I could still, like, theoretically, our last guest said you could obviously still finger her, eat her out, but I'm saying just the coming is, I think.
I'm going to say too short because one of the things I hate the most is when I'm done and he's not done because I'm so sensitive that it's too much.
Would you rather have a guy with a 0 body count or 1,000 body count?
Ooh, I guess it doesn't, probably 1,000. I wouldn't want to train anybody.
So you've never done the whole virgin thing? Have you ever taken a virginity?
I did, but I was also a virgin, so it doesn't count.
I will say every time I ask that question of would you rather, I always ask the girls, have you taken virginity? A lot of them say no. I don't know if anyone said yes.
It doesn't interest me at all.
I don't know if anyone
I think
said yes.
Would creep me out.
So you've never done like a fuck a fan type thing?
No.
I feel like a lot of girls do that.
No, I don't like that. Like, I like very confident men that are maybe out of my reach. Like, I don't want to be the one in the power woposition.
So back in your single days, would you say you've ever been remotely romanced by a fan?
I don't think so. No, because that's the thing is a fan usually lets you know that they're a fan, so they're a little bit like too much.
Yeah.
And I like want to work for it.
Or when you were single, were you single during most of the porn career?
No, I was actually with my now husband for most of it. We did have like a little bit of a stint during some of it, which is like shocker, right? Like we of course had a moment where we were not good at all. And then I was seeing this other guy and who's like pretty famous, but total douche. And I was just like a huge fan of his actually at the time. So that was destined to fail.
That's one thing I always say with girls that like just try to like fuck famous guys. I always say, you know what, if you're like actually a fan of them, I respect it. There's like a lot of girls I know that would be like, oh, I fucked this guy. I'm like, they'll be like, oh, I'm just gonna say a random name. I don't even know. They'll be like, I fucked Tom Brady, which obviously I didn't understand Tom Brady. Like they're like, I'm like, you're not a Patriot. You're not a football fan. You're not a Patriots fan. Like I respect the girl more if you're banging a guy that you're like kind of a fan of, you know?
Oh, really?
They're just like a guy that just has clout. Just say
because then you'd like know them on some level, like know their public
I can kind of see it more if you're a fan.
Yeah. Okay.
Like let's say if you're a fucking fan of Bruno Mars.
Okay.
And you bang Bruno Mars. I'm like, oh, it's kind of cool. As opposed to
he sang happy birthday to me one time before he was famous.
Before he was that's pretty pimp.
It was a bikini competition and
did you win?
No, I didn't.
And then fuck be you in a bikini competition?
I don't even remember. Like I think she was like a real model, so it's like I'll give it to her. Not at the time. And then Rob Gronkowski had just gotten signed and he was in the front. So it was like the weirdest collision of people.
What a crew.
Yeah.
Let's wind down on these would you rather questions. This is an interesting question for you, I think. Because as I mentioned before, most respectfully possible, I would say you probably have probably the best ass of all time in porn. Would you rather, if we're taking one away, to give the other, it's only one or the other, would you rather a huge pair of tits or a huge ass?
Oh, ass all day.
All day.
All day.
Yeah. But then that means like a size tits.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
Okay.
Because like one, it's like you work for it. Well, some people do.
Do you work for your ass?
Yeah, for sure.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, not now, because now that I've had kids, it's just large by itself.
Yeah, you still look great.
Yeah, but I've always done weights.
Really? So would you say that you always had your ass even when you were, let's say, like 19?
Not as big as when I got into the industry, but then because like I would overbuild my legs, like I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I don't want to speak on a woman's body, but I feel like there's like two categories of asses.
Yeah.
Like one girl like works for her ass, it's like really fit. You can tell it's like a fit ass, and then there's like just a classic dump truck. Yeah. I always pictured you as the classic dump truck.
Oh, thank you.
But it's not.
No.
Wow.
I mean, I've always had like a butt. It was never like flat and nothing there. But to make it nice and lifted, you do a lot of Pilates, yoga, 50-50. Weights.
A little mix of both. You had the skill and the determination.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's basically all I got for you. Eva, you got anything for me?
I don't know. This was awesome.
Any question for me?
I don't think so.
You haven't seen me in years, for Christ's sakes.
So
we got 10 more minutes.
We have 10 more minutes. We flew through
that now, but we got 10 more minutes.
Okay, well then let's use the time that we have.
5 minutes.
So have you ever been asked by an OnlyFans creator to be on their OnlyFans
all the time.
all the time. How do you say no?
Well, I don't really want to because everyone's like, oh, how do you not fuck these chicks? It would all be on. The only caveat is it's on camera.
Okay.
I don't need to be on camera. I mean, number one, I told my mom if I do the show, I'm not going to make a sex tape. She was like, just make sure you don't make a sex tape. I was like, you know what? That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, if it's on camera, I don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? A third reason. Second reason, if it's on camera, if I'm fucking a girl that's as beautiful as some of the girls I've had on my show, I want to be able to enjoy it. I don't want to film it and or have the stress of it going online. I would like to enjoy it. And I was actually driving to work today. I listened to I Get Around by Tupac. And in the song he said, and I was like, oh, you know what? That's like me on the show. It was like, I think he says, I don't want it if it's that easy, tease me. I'm a chase guy.
Same.
If you just walked in, you're like, oh, let's fuck it in an hour. I'm like, hey. I want to enjoy the chase of it. That's half the fun. It's more than half the fun, probably.
So now that you are like larger than life, right? Because I feel like you are getting your own serious fan base. Do you feel like it's more difficult to find a girlfriend that is like real, or and that's going to be like cool with you talking to porn stars and OnlyFans girls? 'Cause, like, jealousy is a real thing. Or you just like, I don't care if you're that jealous. I'll find one that's
I mean, I think I'm
grounded.
pretty honest with everybody I meet.
Yeah.
So like, and it's not like it's a surprise if you go on my Instagram. It's just Sunday conversation of this, and you're gonna see it. But I mean, I think everybody knows. If anyone who knows what they're getting into knows, and if they don't like it, then like I said, not that I would date an OnlyFans girl. I'm saying I would happily date an OnlyFans girl.
Mm-hmm.
Not that the hypothetical girlfriend you just brought up would be an OnlyFans girl, but I'm
right.
like, it's a separation of church and state. And I've said this since I told you what Asa told me about like the sexing thing. Like, I've been groomed for the last 6 years. Not groomed, but you know what I'm saying. Groomed is, you say groomed. You can't really say groomed properly anymore.
Mm-mm.
But I've been groomed since I met Asa and realized like there's a separation of church and state. Yes. Which is the same thing, I guess, with the show. Mm-hmm. And also, frankly, I'm not banging any of the guests. I'm just talking to them. So whatever.
I just know girls that like they'll date a photographer, and let's say he shoots for Playboy. So they go in knowing that he shoots for Playboy, and then in a few months, and they're like, I want you to quit. Because I don't want you to be around those other women.
I'm not really a girlfriend guy, though. I mean, if someone swoops me off my feet, who knows?
It could happen tomorrow. It is the holiday season. Season of love.
Cuffing season.
It's what season?
It's cuffing season. But then again, when this episode comes out, Christmas will be over.
And maybe you'll be in love by then.
We'll have to get a female gift, which is great. Except my mom, which I'm slacking on this year. I got her some fucking Instagram ads got me, and they don't deliver the stuff.
Oh no, because it's all from Asia, so you get it like 3 months later.
They don't deliver anything. This company, I'm just going to say it I didn't know it. I'm not going to say it because you didn't deliver my stuff in time, so I'm not going to say it. This company on Instagram, they make these awesome canvases of like movie scenes and shit, and it's all over my Instagram. I've been seeing it for years. I'm like, oh, this shit's awesome. It's like scenes from Goodfellas and Superbad and Old School. And my mom was Forrest Gump, so I got her a Forrest Gump one. It's done. It's December 21st. I ordered like 6 of them. Not one has arrived yet.
Whoa.
And I ordered them like December 3rd, so I'm disappointed in that. But yeah.
Maybe you'll get a Christmas miracle.
Well, my mom's birthday is actually just like January 8th, I think it is.
Oh, you got time.
So maybe it'll be here by then. I don't think it will. You know what I got to do after this? I got to go to the fucking mall and buy more shit, and I'm not excited about that.
Oh my God. I'm about to go shopping after this, and I'm dreading it.
Where are you going to go?
A Saks.
You're going to get like stuff for yourself?
Something for me, something for my business partner. He's just been a rock star because we started that agency a couple years back, and he's just the man. He reminds me of Ari Gold from Entourage. Like, he's just
I've never heard of him.
No.
Never dabbled.
No, he's the man.
But good for him. Hey, Eva, this was fun. I enjoyed this episode a lot. I think it was a good amount of time. We clocked in about 55 minutes here.
Nice.
So always a pleasure to see you. Thank you for stopping by. You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you. Yeah, I'd love to come back.
Enjoy the winter. Enjoy New York City, and enjoy motherhood.
Yeah, I'll go get that baby out there.
Thank you.